Today in our 2013 Jeep Wrangler, we'll be installing the Roadmaster Universal Diode Wiring Kit, part number RM-154. First, to begin our install, go ahead and remove the taillight assembly on the passenger side. To remove the taillight assembly, we'll remove the two fasteners that secure it. Once we remove the fasteners, we'll go ahead and pop the taillight assembly out, and then pull it out so we can gain access to the manufacturer's wiring. Next, we'll need to test the manufacturer's wiring to locate the running light circuit and the passenger turn signal and braking circuit. Using our test light, we'll go ahead and probe the wires now. As you can see, the white wire with a yellow tracer will be the turn signal and brake circuit, and the white wire with the brown tracer will be our running light circuit. We'll need to drill a hole in the bottom plastic panel, going up through the foam and out the access hole so we can gain access to our wires. We'll go ahead and drill our hole. We'll need to get our 4-pole harness fed up behind the passenger side taillight assembly. We'll go ahead and cut these wires in half because it will not be necessary for this application. Additionally, we'll need to go ahead and peel the yellow wire out of the 4-wire setup, as it will not be used here on the passenger side. Next, we'll feed the wire up behind the taillight assembly and pull it out of the access hole for the taillight assembly. Now, to plug our diode in line with the manufacturer's wiring, we'll go ahead and cut these wires in half, strip them back, and add our terminal connectors. Next, we'll go ahead and strip back the green wire and add our terminal connector. Now we can go ahead and start making our diode connection. Note that the out indicator, or the diode side with only one terminal, will lead to the taillight socket or taillight assembly. The other side will plug in the manufacturer's harness that leads to the vehicle side, and our green wire coming from our 4-pole harness. One diode in particular will have a yellow terminal connector, and this diode will be installed on the driver's side only for this application. Now we'll go ahead and repeat the same process with the white wire with the brown tracer and the brown wire from our 4-pole harness on the manufacturer's side. We'll go ahead and take the white wire, which will be the ground for our 4-pole harness, strip it back, and add the blue ring terminal provided with our install kit. Then we'll use a self-tapping screw and secure the ring terminal directly to the body or sheet metal of the vehicle. Note, I recommend to find a location where the sheet metal doubles up for a good ground connection. Now, with all our connections made, we'll go ahead and take some black electrical tape and wrap up our terminal connection points to keep them free from dirt, dust, debris, and moisture. Now, as a precautionary measure, we're going to go ahead and drill an attachment point for a zip tie to help hold our wires up out of the way and away from the door hinge rod, so the wires don't get caught up when the rear door is operated. Using a long bit, we'll go ahead and drill a hole in the sheet metal and then use our zip tie to secure the wiring. Next, to assist in sealing up the hole that we drilled, we'll go ahead and use the Loctite RTV gasket maker, part number LT37467. Now, with everything done here behind the taillight assembly, we can go ahead and reconnect it to the taillight and then resecure it to the vehicle. Next, we'll get underneath and start routing our 4-pole harness over to the driver's side. Note we'll use some black zip ties to secure the wiring as we go. Keep in mind when routing your wires, stay away from moving components such as steering or suspension, or excessive heat such as exhaust. Now with our 4-pole harness over on the driver's side, we can feed it up through the cutout in the foam behind the driver's side taillight assembly. We'll go ahead and feed the entire 4-pole harness, including the yellow wire, up behind the taillight assembly. Then we can go ahead and remove the driver's side taillight assembly. Now with the taillight assembly removed, once again we'll use our test light to locate the driver's side turn signal and brake circuit and running light circuit. Here on the driver's side, the white wire with a green tracer will be our turn and brake signal, and the white wire with an orange tracer wire will be our running light circuit. Now with our wires identified, we'll go ahead and remove the taillight assembly and the tow package that's already been previously installed. This will give us as much working room as possible. Now with our wires identified, we can go ahead and cut them in half, stripping back both ends and adding the blue terminal ends. Next, I'll take the yellow wire that we fed up behind the taillight assembly from our 4-pole harness, cut off the excess length, strip it back, and add a blue terminal. Now, with that done, we'll go ahead and take the brown wire, peel it out of the 4-pole harness, give ourselves a little length, and cut it in half. We'll go ahead and strip back both sides and twist them together. These two wires get connected to the yellow terminal end together, creating our running light circuit here on the driver's side. Now with all our terminals secured, we'll go ahead and start installing our diodes. Keep in mind again that the out will indicate to the taillight assembly. Once we have all our connections made, we can then go ahead and wrap it up with some black electrical tape. Now with the diodes wrapped up, we'll go ahead and reinstall the previously wired in tow package and reconnect our wiring harness to the taillight assembly. Then re-secure the driver's side taillight assembly. Next, we'll move underneath the vehicle and using a zip tie, secure the wiring here to the manufacturer's pre-drilled hole. Now with that done, we're ready to go ahead and continue routing our 4-pole harness to the front of the vehicle. As we route our wire, we'll go ahead and secure it with the black zip ties as necessary. Now with our wire run to the front, we'll be adding the tow-ready 4-pole flat mounting bracket, part number 18144. We're going to mount the bracket here in front of the lower rock guard. So I'll go ahead and take my paint marker and mark out the section we'll need to trim out of the rock guard to run our wire through. Using our rotary tool, we'll go ahead and cut out this section now. Next, we'll go ahead and run our wire through it, and then mount it in the 4-pole bracket. Next, we'll take our 4-pole bracket and secure it to the bottom side of the bumper using the self-tapping screws. Now with the 4-pole bracket secured, we'll go ahead and move back underneath the vehicle where we'll secure the excess wiring and cut off the excess from the zip ties to clean up our install look. With that, this will complete the install of the Roadmaster Power Diode Wiring Kit, part number RM-154, in conjunction with our Loctite RTV gasket maker, part number LT37467, and our tow-ready mounting bracket, part number 18144, on our 2013 Jeep Wrangler.